Bula Vinaka boxing fans, wow, we've just witnessed Iron Mike Tyson go the distance against Jake Paul, losing, I think, 6 rounds, if I'm sort of correct on the judges' scorecard. And hey, I was wrong. I'm going to be first to admit it here. My original pick when I first did this, back when the fight was supposed to be in July, I picked Jake Paul to win. I just thought the youth, the speed would be too much. And then the fight got rescheduled. I started to see all these different training footage. I started to buy into, the inexperience of Jake Paul, and I thought maybe Mike still got it. I looked at the Roy Jones Jr. fight, and I thought if that version could turn up with a little bit more speed, tenacity, I think he could overcome Jake Paul. But when I saw Mike Tyson come out in a knee brace before the fight even started, I was like, oh no, what the heck? And then when he was in the ring, I felt like the first round, he won that round. Second round, I think it was very close. It could have gone either way. And then after that, it was like Mike was just so slow. The first thing I noticed was his legs, his feet, his balance. And it was so telling in there. And it was sad. And not only was that sad to watch, but watch after every 2 minutes that the round finishes, how slow Mike walks to his stool and sits down. He literally walks like an old man. And then he gets up and he's walking slow to the ring, to fight Jake Paul. But then when he's fighting, he's looking okay. He's looking better than any other 58-year-old probably would. So, look, I think what's the saying in boxing? It's a young man's sport. And I think that really showed today. Props to Jake Paul. He played a really good, safe match. He sort of kept on the outside. He landed some good left hooks, targeted the body, used that longer reach. He didn't really get into any exchanges. He could tell very early on that Mike Tyson's legs weren't there. I don't know if Jake Paul was going easy on Mike, because I think there were opportunities where he could have really bit down in his gum shield and finished Mike off. He had Mike hurt a couple of times. Even his own coach was getting frustrated. So I don't know, out of respect, I have a feeling Jake was pulling back a bit. And even in the last round, there was still like 10 seconds to go. He kind of just bowed to Mike Tyson. And out of respect, Mike Tyson could have thrown a free shot at him, because it was still going on. Mike Tyson held back too. He recognized the respect that Jake was showing. But what I will say is that Jake Paul was billed before this fight as knocking out and dropping every single opponent that he faced. From Anderson Silva to Nate Diaz to even Tyrell Woodley and even Tommy Fury, the only one loss that he's had in his career, knocked him down. The fact that a 58-year-old Mike Tyson could go and last 8 rounds and have a number of effective punches landed on him and not even hit the canvas once just shows what an incredible human being Mike Tyson is. What an incredible boxer he was. If a 20-year-old Mike Tyson, if this was 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I think Mike could have won this fight. But it was obvious that age difference, was just too much. I mean, even from 4 years since when he fought Roy Jones Jr., even Roy was like, his feet, they're not as fast as what they were when he was facing me. And I was watching that fight yesterday and I could see a huge difference. That was only 4 years ago. So what do you do, man? What do you do? But look, hey, this is boxing. I think the crowd was kind of stunned. It was dead silent. The only consolation was that Mike didn't get hurt, knocked out, knocked down. He went out as a warrior on his feet and, lost to the younger man. Where does Jake Paul go from here? Look, he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. If I was Canelo and I was Canelo's team, I would be on the phone right now and say, let's do this for, we can even do it 8 2-minute rounds if you want. Same rules, 14-ounce gloves. Canelo Alvarez will punch a hole right through Jake Paul. Mark my words, people. He will absolutely obliterate Jake Paul's arms, and then he'll knock him out with an uppercut or probably even a body shot. There is absolutely no way this guy does anything to Saul. And I don't even like Canelo. I think he's the biggest douchebag there is. I think he's an arrogant prick, but he's an amazing boxer, a wonderful, talented boxer. And they could go for cruiserweight because Canelo's never been, he's never fought at cruiserweight. So that would be giving some advantage back to Jake Paul. Do it at 200 pounds. You couldn't do it for a title. Maybe you could do it for some made-up title, yeah. And do it. I mean, both of them like earning money. I think that could probably eclipse Mayweather and McGregor. I think both of them could earn over $100 million each. That'd be huge. Bring it back here in Texas. I think that's the only thing for Paul. If Jake Paul was to fight any top 10 heavyweight, he would get absolutely battered. Imagine Jake Paul facing someone like Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabiel, Derek Chisora even, Fraser Clark, Wardley, Joshua. Imagine if you faced any of them. So then you could probably go back to cruiserweight. Imagine if you faced someone like Jai Opetaia or Billum Smith or Riakporhe. He's nothing. He's not doing anything to them. So, I think there's 3 fights out there for Jake Paul. Canelo, which I don't know if Canelo will do, because even though he loves money, he has got a lot of pride, and I think he'll just be like, this is a joke. I'm not going to lower myself to this. I think he might do it once he's retired. KSI. I think that is probably the more likely fight that's going to happen, Paul versus KSI. I think Jake Paul will beat KSI easily. KSI's got no boxing talent at all. Paul can box. He's an amateur novice boxer. He's not, I wouldn't say he's even, probably national level. I think British or national champions would beat him. But he's definitely good. KSI cannot box at all. He just cannot box. He's horrible. The way he fought Tommy Fury. Horrible fighter. So KSI, Canelo Alvarez, or Tommy Fury rematch. But Tommy Fury's kind of really fallen off the radar since a split with Molly May. So I just don't think that fight will generate any interest, to be honest. I mean, yeah, he's the only one that's beaten Jake Paul. That's probably how they could sell it. There'll be a chance for Jake Paul. But honestly, if they fought again, I'd probably pick Jake Paul to win this time. Even how bad I think he is, I just think Tommy's probably regressed. I think he's gone worse, especially with everything that he's had to deal with emotionally and, with his breakup and stuff. And that's never easy. So Tommy Fury, KSI, Canelo Alvarez, I think those are the only 3 options. He can't fight anyone else. If he fights any top 10 person, then yeah. As for Mike Tyson, he doesn't know, and he reckons it's not going to be the last time that they see him in the ring. I don't want to see Mike Tyson in any more professional sanctioned bouts anymore. If he wants to fight, I think there should be exhibition matches, and I think that he should fight people around his age. Why not do an exhibition fight, Holyfield versus Mike Tyson 3, the trilogy? Do it as an exhibition. Same sort of rules, like what they did with the Roy Jones Jr. fight, or maybe even a Roy Jones Jr. rematch, or even facing someone like James Toney. Fight people around your age in exhibition fights, if that's what you want to do. Maybe you could see Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson, although that might be too dangerous for Mike anyway, because Floyd, man, that boy's still got moves. Actually, that might be a really good fight, actually. Imagine if Floyd Mayweather said, let's do it, Jake. I'll come out of retirement to fight you. I reckon Floyd could beat him. I reckon Floyd's still got the footwork, the skills to outbox Paul. But let me know your thoughts. How did you think this fight went? Are you disappointed? I'm a little bit disappointed. It didn't live up to what I thought it would be. I thought that even if Tyson lost, there'd be a little bit more fireworks. It was just kind of dry, really. It was kind of dead after 2 rounds. And Jake Paul just controlled it. Even he didn't really jump on Mike. So it wasn't even exciting the other way around, even if you weren't supporting Paul. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Drop a comment, hit a like, and as always, you're watching Seru Boxing Undisputed Vinaka.